I think we all can agree that computers have done a lot for chess. When they first got really strong, they seemed to have threatened chess. But as time went on, we embraced computers and we have learned a lot from computers, and it have really gave chess a breath of fresh air in a lot of ways. But one of the things that it does not quite do just yet is really just tell us what is it thinking, what's going down in the position. It's one thing if you're a strong player, you can figure things out. But if you're a casual, club player, tournament player, it might be rather hard to tease out those things. Chessbase 17 has a feature that will increase that knowledge output from the computer to tell the individual what they're thinking. This is fantastic. So, first of all, let me go ahead and add, put on my default kit bits here. I'm using Stockfish 15. And by the way, this is not an engine specific feature. This is a feature specific to Chessbase. All right. So, as we see here, we're only using one line, just the main line, and Stockfish just searching really, really deep. And so, and as we scroll across this, here's a new feature here that when you scroll across these moves, you actually, a phantom board pops up, as I like to call it. And you can just kind of scrub across these moves with your mouse without clicking or doing anything. And you can see what's going on. And then when you take your mouse off, it goes back to the original position. But now what's more is that you don't really know if, although the computer said this is the best move, you really want to look at least two lines. All right. So that's where the buddy engine comes into play. And if you see this little dog right here, like a German Shepherd here, if you click him, it activates the buddy engine. So I guess the name derived from, say, hey, a dog is your buddy, and he's kind of patrolling the first couple of lines where he's letting you know what's going on. So let's just let Buddy think for a minute. So we see Buddy has thought about these moves here. Here, if you scroll across a couple of them, it says Buddy, has not analyzed it yet. But as time goes on, if we look at these squares, all these squares mean forced moves. Now, what's even cooler is that now if you take a look at the bottom down here, and it kind of give you more information, it's classifying stuff as a sack for a decoy. White threatens mate, and telling you what the threat is and telling you what not the threat is, for example. But the really cool feature is that the buddy is calculating the first and second two lines, right? And as you notice, the same color lines that the buddy is calculating here, let's say, for example, with the first move, which is green and yellow, it has a green and yellow line in the buddy window here. And so green means that's a good move. Yellow means it's okay. Red means it's losing, and black is mean there's a mating threat. So, for example, if you look at the famous game here with the double bishop sacrifice between Lasker and Bauer, the forced move here, if we look at it, bishop h7 is winning. The next move, which is in sort of a greenish yellow, queen takes h5. I mean, it's not losing, but it's not the optimal move, but it's within the range of okay. So, all right, so we go ahead and execute that bishop takes h5 move here. Take a look at this. Now look at this. The buddy engine is showing that king takes is severely losing, but if it does not take, that is mate. Now, before I get too far ahead of myself, let me tell you another thing about the buddy engine. The buddy engine is an internal engine that uses about 1/5 of the resources. So basically, you can allow your main engine just to focus on that main line and do all the calculation, all the depth on that main line. And you give about 1/5 of the resources to the buddy engine to run in the background to take a look at the top two lines. And so what this does is that you don't really sacrifice that much, because, for example, if you were to just say hit this magnifying glass with the plus sign in it, it would add another line, but that's coming at the cost of depth in the original main line. However, because you're only sacrificing 1/5 of your computing resources for the buddy engine, you are able to allow your main engine, which in my case is Stockfish 15, to just go to town on that one line with the rest of the 80% of the resources. So that's another fantastic thing why this buddy engine is very good. I mean, you still can do the old fashioned where you add multiple lines and look at multiple lines. You can do that as well. But if you're really trying to say work out an opening or play a very forced position, this would be probably the best option to use is to use your engine for the main line, use your buddy engine to evaluate the main line and the second move. And you can also just get a quick snapshot just by looking at these squares, which the squares indicate force moves. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, we can see that it's bad for black no matter what he does. Okay, so no matter what black does, he takes. And if you look at this move here, white has, a really good move and a really bad move. Basically, only one move wins in this position here, and that is queen takes h5 check. All right, so well, this right here is probably great because it's just there's nothing else to do. I mean, he has to go to G8, for example. And now here we see this force move again. If you look at this, where it's telling you that bishop to G7 is the best move, basically the force move, because how the algorithm is determined what's a force move is that if you look at the score difference here, that's a huge difference. It would just say just maybe 1 pawn, 2 pawn difference. It may not be considered force, but in this case, this big of a spread of analysis of sentient pawns, you would consider that as force. So that's a really cool feature. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing that. And again, there's not much more to say about it other than that. That's how you use it. And down at the bottom, as you see, as it's telling you, if you scroll through moves, you can get more information from what the computer is thinking. It's classifying these ideas, and it tells you a lot. Now, two other things that's really cool from the engine features that actually was in Fritz 18. Now, the first, let's go ahead and cut the buddy engine off. The first thing, let's cut it. No, let me stop. Let me go back to the buddy engine first. You don't have to have a buddy engine on for this, but I'm just leave it on for a minute. If you see right here, this color here, these colors, you can see that both of the kings, well, white's king is safe. It's basically this here is a health of the relative position of your pieces. If your pieces are on good squares or perfect squares, they're going to be in green, or say like a dark, like teal green. If they're on okay squares, they're going to be like a yellow or a greenish yellow. If they're on bad squares, it's going to be in red. So take a look at the black king. It's red, so that's a super horrible position for the white king. And if you look here, the next set of things where under the colors, you'll see these little gear wheels, and gear wheels just mean like which side the activity. So white has a lot of activity. Black has some activity. White doesn't have much more activity, but however, the sharpness of the position is lending itself to the white position, obviously, because, well, this is the famous double bishop sacrifice. Bishop takes G7 is coming in and has to be taken, and their game will soon be over. And below that, you have the material balance. So basically, black has a bishop for a pawn in this case. So that's a cool thing to really see. This is another way you can get more out of the engine. It's like telling you not only what the best line is, but like just telling you how good are your pieces placed. And this is good for learning as well. So let's turn this buddy engine off. And I'm going to go ahead and let me disconnect from this here. Now, another feature that was introduced to Chessbase 17 and came over from Fritz 18 is you can actually put this computer analysis into hint mode. Now, it was calculating hints, and just say if you want to play the move, if you don't really know, you can get a hint, sacrifice your bishop, go to another hint on the board. It's actually showing you an arrow and telling you where to go. But the cool thing about this is, I'll tell you something even better than that. Say if you was just following a top tournament, and what you would do is open up a board in real time, be inputting the moves. Say if you was watching a world championship game, and you can just interactively follow the game and try to figure out what the players are playing, and just put this in a hint mode, and then just try to play the game out yourself. So basically, you'll be kind of getting interactive training as you're watching a game in real time. So that would be another use case for this. So that said, this is fantastic. I gotta say, you get so much out of the engine now. It's not just the engine giving lines, but Chessbase has a feature to utilize that engine line and to give you some more information. That first, just to quickly recap, that first feature is the buddy engine, which you see here. The second feature is this hint board here, where you can toggle that on and off. The third is the coloration of the pieces to let you know the relative piece health based on their position, the piece activity based on these gear wheels, the sharpness of the position based on their flames and the piece imbalance. And also, I guess as a fourth feature as well is that now if you're just looking at this computer line and you just want to see what's going on, you can just actually scroll across here and this phantom board will pop up. You can see it and then you can just come right off of it. Now, one last thing I did forget is that you can do what they call a one-click analysis here, annotation. So let me just go back here. Okay, so you see here where it says queen to h5, right here, for example. If you just click it here, see it adds it to the annotation just like that. So whatever move down here that is part of the annotation, if it's not already part of the actual text here, it will add it just like that. You just click it and you're done just like that. So let me just try to go to another move and just see what I can see here. Queen to, let's just add a line here. Let's do that. So 26, king to f8, but we think bishop to g5 and whatever move in this variation you put on the board, that's what's going to happen. So here we want to be like, okay, let's stop it. We know that this is a bad move, rook takes h7, but we're just going to go to rook takes h7, takes f7, sorry, click it, and there it is. It puts that line in here all the way to the exact move we just clicked on. So actually it's 5 features instead of 3. So you get the buddy engine, the color of the piece, relative piece position, the hint mode, the just scrolling across the moves in the computer analysis to pull up a phantom board to play it out, and one-click annotation. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys take care, and I'll be back with another one soon. Bye.